don't know.
It's just Kate. You have to, it's authenticate.
I don't claim anything. Maybe that should be my thing. I don't claim anything. Okay.
No, your thing should be authenticate.
Okay, I'll switch back.
Yeah, I told her. Authenticate. Core.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Glimpse TV. I'm Kate Northrup, and I'm here with Danielle LaPorte. And I'm so excited to be so close to you. Danielle and I are in bed at the Ace Hotel, and we just finished doing the RHH Live weekend with Marie Forleo, and Danielle was one of the amazing speakers. And I just have to say, really, you are one of the primary reasons that Glimpse TV even exists. Because I had my fire starter session with you way back when you were still doing them, and you told me,
you're a star.
In whatever words you said, that I was enough and that I should just start doing something.
I'm not more than
and
enough.
And here we are. Here we are. And it's been a year and whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? And so here we are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I watch all of Kate's stuff. Every time, because there's always great questions and uncontrollable giggles.
And I just want you to know, it's not because some people, I got one comment on my blog, and Mike, my boyfriend, who you have met, who's lovely,
who I love,
gives me so much shit because I get, now let me just ask you a question, I'll finish my story in a second.
Okay.
I know you've turned off the comments on your blog, which is so wise. And what happens to you? Like, do you have a screening process for any negative feedback you get, or do you get those emails? What do you do when you get them?
I am blessed. I get very little negative stuff, and I think it's because I'm such a nice guy. But also, I just stand in I'm in integrity in what I'm doing, and piss off if you don't agree. So there's lots of love, but lots of boundaries. You get some freaky stuff every once in a while. It's just part of quantity. And I can tell you, when you can get 20 lovely nuggets, and you get one person who disses you, and you will think about that one person. Yeah. It will throw it off. And I've talked to so many other bloggers, web people who are profile as part of their business, and it bothers you. It bothers you. And I don't engage with it.
Right.
I never reply. I always see the humor in it, and then I get over it so super quickly.
Beautiful. So I got a comment after my Nicole Daedone interview about how I was so giggly and how they would have hoped I would be more mature about the topic of sex. And I just wanted to be like, you clearly haven't watched any of my other stuff because I just giggle about anything.
You clearly don't know how sophisticated
not
I
because
am.
I wouldn't, well, whatever. I wouldn't say that, but it was really interesting. So I'm glad that you said that yeah, whatever. So, okay. Here we are in New York. I met you when you were initially doing your traveling around the country, doing your fire starter sessions in people's living rooms.
And I was a little starstruck when you came.
I was obsessed with
It's Kate Northrup.
I was starstruck with you, so that's good. That's good. It's the Mutual Admiration Society over here. And since then, what are you doing right now that you're so super excited about?
Lots that I'm excited about. Can I just give a little, the trail of how that you went?
That's what I would really like to hear about.
I think this is important because
the journey.
I got canned from the company that I founded as a big part of my entrepreneurial story, and I had no choice but to resurrect myself and rise from the flames. So I started White Hot Truth. Within weeks of being canned from the company I co-founded, raised a lot of money for, 5 years of my life, my name on the book cover, all of that. So I hit the ground running, and I didn't know how I was actually going to make money. And I thought, well, I know how to start businesses, and I know how to get lots of traffic. And, and then the undercurrent of that is I have a philosophy about authenticity and making a contribution. I can do something. Why don't I call it a fire starter session? And I didn't even know what I was going to do, what a fire starter session was, and I just put it up as a page on my website. It that I was offering fire starter sessions, a bit of business advice, some love. And
who doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't need that?
Everyone.
And I called a few friends and said, what should I charge? $500 felt too expensive, $150 felt too cheap. It's like, $300 is great.
Yeah.
And got a call. And so I was doing one-on-ones. And then I was like, I need to make some real money. This isn't scalable. Got to scale. So I ended up doing 16 cities in a year. I wanted to fucking die at the end of that year.
How that feels.
Like I crawled home. My last one was the one we met at.
Really?
And I remember, that morning, going to Aidan Donnelly Rowley's
the most gorgeous living room in Manhattan.
Amazing home, and I just prayed. I was like, I get a little misty. I think, God just carry me through this day. It ended up being one of my best talks ever. And then I realized that was not scalable. And then I thought, I need to create a product, put this in a book. So that little, I'm going to rise from the flames, turned into one-on-ones, eventually $1,000 an hour, just retired from that, because that ain't scalable. And 16 cities, which turned into a lot of love. And again, I never knew where I was going. Sometimes I would be at the airport in a city, because some people just say, come to Dallas. I'd be like, okay. And I'd be at the airport, and I would say, I was paying for my own flight. It was so risky. I'd be like, I pay my own flight.
Yeah.
I won't sleep on couches. This is one, I don't care how broke I am, I won't sleep on anybody's couch. I gotta stay in a hotel room. And now I'm at the Ace. So everything's turned out okay.
Here.
But I would be at the airport sometimes, I think. A crazy cat lady could be picking me up and bringing me to her decrepit home. I had but it always worked out. Great people, great spaces.
Okay,
Pole
so
dancing studio.
Where did you do the pole dancing studio?
That was in Manhattan Beach. It was so weird.
That's fun. That's very fun. All right. So one of the things that I love about that story is, I just came off this marketing well, I wouldn't call RHH Live a marketing seminar, but if you wanted to be really unilinear about it, unilinear is not a word, but
I think it is. You were that sophisticated, Kate.
Thank you,
yes.
Danielle. Then it would be a marketing, seminar. And so a lot of the marketing philosophy will say, you need to look in the market and see what there's space for and identify your perfect customer and all that stuff. And I don't hear any of those steps in your story. So what's up with that?
Okay. This is a great question, because I've had this conversation with some coaches. There are some professions, professions, who look at the market and say, what's the need? I'm going to go fill it.
Yeah.
And that is totally noble way to go.
Absolutely.
It's great. And ideally, uppercase, bold, underline, that need fits your passion, and it's all going to work. I don't do that. I figure out what I want to talk about, and I'm as pure and solid and transparent as possible in the making of my own art. And then I just pray, because I need reciprocity and money and to be seen and engagement. And my hope is it resonates. And so it's more of an artist model.
It's so beautiful. It's that quote, which I can't remember who said it. Maybe don't ask what the world needs, ask what makes you come alive, because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Yes, Thurman said that. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's so beautiful. And I love that philosophy because I'm a very spiritual person, and I believe in signs, and I believe that following what feels good is pretty much the best way to go. So what's feeling good to you in your life right now?
What's feeling good is, so the Fire Starter Sessions book in print is coming out with Random House Crown.
You can pre-order it now on Amazon. The link is below.
Kate doesn't edit her videos, but if she did, we'd have this blinking emoticon at the bottom that said, buy now.
Maybe someday I
will. No, don't go change in.
Cool.
So that's exciting, but the light up part is, the book's it'll ship in, what is that, 4 or 5 months, no concept of time.
What's the date again?
April 17th, but you can pre-order.
Oh, it's an Aries. Your book is an Aries.
Oh yeah,
I'm
so
an
you're
Aries.
very self-centered.
Very self-centered and independent.
Yeah.
And
strong.
headstrong.
And sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. My book is an Aries. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. But the sort of artistic push right now is to stay in integrity with the media.
Yeah, okay, so you were just telling me about, can you talk about this?
Yes, I can
okay,
talk about that.
great. So can you talk about that? Then the door rang and whatever. So you were talking about what that was like. So talk about that, being in integrity in the media.
Well, I just did a little power hour at Glamour magazine, which is really glamorous. And, you know, I
like us.
Like us at the Ace Hotel. With my Keisha hair and my
1988
denim jacket. I feel so high school right now, but hot. I'm just working this there. See if there's any feedback.
Put it in the comments below what you think.
We are who we are. Okay, so what's really cool about going... This is my Kodak moment, my digital moment, my Instagram moment of going to the Condé Nast building is when you go up the elevator and you hit each floor and it, you know, it blinks ahead here that's sort of, not the monitor, whatever. It's like, you know, Lucky Magazine, I think Sports Illustrated, Vogue, you know, ding, and you're just like, wow, I am in the epicenter.
Yeah. So like it's a
movie.
So,
you know, I go to, everyone at Glamour is decked out. I'm feeling really underdressed, even in my cashmere, and I feel like a total bumpkin. And, you know, I do my thing. Talk about desire, you know, desire should be the driver of your to-do list, not the achievables out there.
That's a tweetable. Desire should be the driver of your to-do list. At Danielle LaPorte.
Yeah, at Danielle LaPorte. Hashtag FireSS. But, yeah, I've had this fear come up on this trip because, you know, I had a book come out before.
Yeah, I have that book.
And you have that book. I don't talk about that book anymore, and thank you for not mentioning the title. Because I don't make any royalties off that book. And it's a great book, and I still stand by it, and it's beautiful, and, yeah, there's a lot of love in there. But I like it to be in my past. And I have run this race. I have like hustled at magazines. Oprah has called, and you know, it's like the gold medal. It was like there, and I feel like in my, not that I really buy into to karma. That could be a whole other video about that because people are like, what? She doesn't believe in karma? Yes, what goes around comes around. All of that, cause and effect, order to the chaos. But that was just training. And I think I knew in the back of my mind, this is just training. And now, it's real.
Yeah.
And if this doesn't hit, I'm going to be devastated. Like, there's no doubt. I will be devastated.
Thank you for your honesty about that.
I'm going to be like, who am I? And I got to look my kid in the eye and say you have to have integrity and go for it. And Mama failed again. Mama still needs a new pair of shoes. So it's very tempting when it's not about hunger. It's interesting. I don't feel hungry. I just feel like I'm not up for any tragedies.
So for you, what would make this succeed?
A success?
Like, what would that look like for you?
Great question. Well, to use my own medicine, how it would feel is it would feel very peaceful. It would feel very luminous. It would feel very big. Like I'm really interested in mass communication. This is why every time I go to my therapist, I'm like, I don't know how you do this one-on-one stuff.
Oh, shit. I know. I know.
Unless I'm talking to 10,000 people at once.
I've had people ask me to coach them, which I think is hilarious. And I'm just like, it's not, thank you. I'm not going to do it.
It doesn't
it's
scale.
It's not a good business model. That's why I stopped being a feng shui consultant. I don't know if you knew I did that. But I stopped because it's not scalable. So I love that. In every moment in your business, it's like to go bigger and to serve more, it's got to be scalable. And that's what's so genius about it. Okay, so that's what it's going to feel like.
It has to be pure art.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luminous.
Luminous.
It's going to feel luminous. It's going to feel big.
I want a New York Times bestseller because that is the gold medal of my industry.
Yeah.
And I have ratcheted up my intentions. I don't really like the word hope, so I always say intentions.
Good.
You know, I went from when I first got the book deal, I was like, I could sell a few copies. And then I was thinking,
I'll buy one.
I could, now. And then I thought, I could actually make the bestseller list. Like I could be number 15 in the self-help / miscellaneous category. What a terrible category, but that's what I'm in, right? Miscellaneous. Among categories.
We are miscellaneous.
Yeah.
I would so much rather be miscellaneous than categorizable.
There's a tweet.
Okay, good.
At Kate Northrup.
Yeah. That's actually a thing I wrote down in my ideas from the weekend is to add tweetables at the bottom of the video. So this will be the first video with some tweetables below.
Awesome. Great idea. Forleo is doing that. It's fantastic. Yeah.
It is good. Yeah. All right, cool. So #1 New York Times bestseller.
Yeah, so I've ratcheted up. Then I went to I think I could be number 6 because, you know, our dear friend Chris Carr hit number 6 in January with Crazy Sexy Diet, which is like my lifestyle. And I thought, I can hit number 6. And then I went up to number 3. I thought, I could have a number 3. And now I'm like,
#1.
We're going for 1.
And how does that feel to expand that, to go from I could sell a few copies, because I'm in that a little bit right now, and what's some practice that you have in expanding, and how can we expand?
What's the practice in expanding? It's heart and head.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the math. Mm-hmm. I didn't just think I could be number 1. I crunch the numbers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I say to my publisher, how many did they sell that week to hit that? And they go, oh, they sold, X amount of copies. I go, I can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, I could do more than that. I could go to number 1. And just a little technical aside about bestseller lists. Good data for you to know. Yes. The wild card with getting on the list is that I'll just tell you what Crown said to me. The week my book comes out, someone like Joel Osteen, who's big Christian preacher guy, who is guaranteed to sell 100,000 copies the week his book comes out because he's got so many
Don't you love
followers.
That there are different planets on Earth?
Yes.
That who?
Yeah.
Guaranteed get bestseller, who I've never heard of.
Devoted, right?
Great.
He's got, a big glass church. And if Joel comes out the week that I come out, I'm hooped. I could still get on the list, but he's just going to grab
because he's miscellaneous as well?
That's right. So, really you want a bunch of losers to come out when you come out.
Good to know.
So you can rise, but may we all share. And then the goal is to actually stay on the list. I don't want to be a flash in the pan. I really feel that Firestarter Sessions could have the same staying power as the Artist Way.
Absolutely. And not only that, but you have content up the wazoo. So there will be, I would imagine, many other books.
Oh, I'm already,
I'm sure.
I'm getting on the plane working on my next one. Yeah.
Okay. One other question.
Yeah.
When do you feel the most free?
Oh,
totally
I was going to say,
totally my lady at the movies. By the way, I've got my arm around you. We're doing the, I'm going to do the yawn and stretch. Okay, in bed you feel the most free.
Yeah, in the sack with my man, for sure. Sorry, I got distracted there.
So did I.
I have permission from Scott, my husband, to I can talk about our relationship, but there's love.
Yeah.
But I could say I think he's okay. He rocks my world.
Any man, come on. Yeah.
When do I feel most free? Always with my kid. He just teaches me to be free. He's 7.
Okay. Cool.
We should have a dinosaur. He hit a little dinosaur in my suitcase. Kate was. What do we have?
This thing is awesome.
Little brontosaurus just showed up in my suitcase.
Squeezable thing you've ever. It's so cute.
Okay.
Okay.
And I feel pretty free on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel pretty free watching you on stage.
Thanks.
That's
I'm working on
great.
feeling freer.
So we have another person in the room here.
You do?
So come on down.
Surprise
Pop your head around back. And I'm going to pronounce your name wrong because I just met you. So you
Okay. My
introduce yourself.
name is Navjeet Kandola,
Uh-huh.
and here I am with the dinosaur.
Be her
Can I give
publicist.
an, okay, I'm your publicist. So,
It's fun.
Navjeet. So everybody, like, whenever they go, so Navjit.
Right.
Well,
Just
that's
call her
easy,
Nav.
actually.
Yeah, it's very easy.
You can also call her Navigator.
I love
Which
that.
I am.
Kendall, so
Cool.
Navjeet Kandola, KANDOLA.com.
Mm-hmm.
And Navjeet is, well, she's a great being, but the way I always describe her service is that she's like a spiritual technician. And she, in the past, has offered these exercises in consciousness experiences. Are you still doing
Yeah,
this?
still do that.
doing this? And they're just wonderful sort of clearing sessions for your consciousness, your psyche, and there's a lot of light work involved. And you know, there's the methodology of it, which is wonderful, but there's also Navjeet's amazing ability to kind of unravel you and say, let's just go back to that metaphor. You go, oh, that metaphor has been driving me for years, and it's holding me back from being free in money or love or giving gifts or receiving gifts. And Navjeet is a teacher's teacher, and I really think you could, you know, advise on a global level about just keeping people aligned to their source. Yeah, and we've been friends for years.
Almost 20 years.
Wow.
I say that to people and they can't believe it.
That's amazing.
20 years.
I think I need
20
you to
years on
come
anything.
closer. I'm slightly concerned that you're out of
I'm
the
still
frame.
in. My hair was probably still in. But
Your hair was talking.
Okay,
that.
so Navjeet.
Yes. Hi, I know.
Do you have any questions for Danielle?
I do. Oh yes, I did because hello fans. Because I got the feeling there were fans on the other side of that camera, right?
There are.
Yeah. But I was thinking about this on the way here. I was thinking, talk about why or what does white hot truth, like why fire, why that particular metaphor, and why like the white hot truth, not red hot truth, or you're like, what's that for you? Here we go.
Someone once asked me if it was like a racist slur. It's like,
Oh, come on. Oh, people are so weird.
No. White hot has to do with if you move towards the center of a flame, you go from I think it's orange to red to blue and white at the center. And when you're at the center of the flame, it's where it's hottest. I forget the actual Fahrenheit degree, but that is the degree of heat at which things become all chemical, that fire can melt metal. It's as pure as heat can get. And I'm a purist, and I'm into precision of language and purity of integrity and like just organic ideas. So yeah, I want to get that precise. And you know, there's I talked about this on my site. I got assigned to do 100,000 Prajna Paramitas, and it's this mantra. So Tibetan Buddhist mantra. Om Gate Gate Pera Gate Pera Sam Gate Bodhisattva.
I love that one.
And it, you know, the meaning is like, it's Gate means gone, spelt like gate. So gone, so far gone, so far gone. Oh, celebration. It's like, and it's the mother of the mother of all. So that's all beautiful, but how this relates to White Hot Truth and that precision is, when I was learning it from Lama Mark Weber from Galliano in BC, he talks about seeing the orange color, and he loves this image of those orange, they're called circus roses, the orange ones, they're called celebration circus roses. But he said the smaller point of light that you, I don't know if I'm saying that, the smaller the point of light you can see, actually the more powerful it is.
Yeah.
And sometimes I just can't get there. I don't, you know.
The finite, like
the finite, the size of a seed.
Yeah, the atomic.
Yeah.
So that kind of connects to the white hot truth with atomic. When we think of, you know, that brings you into the radiance. Colors of light that are radiant light. So it's not just, you know, the speed of light, but beyond that. And I think that's what that's talking about, because that's seeing beyond what our vision is and what we're used to transcend into that truth, and that's what the future has to speak to us. And so my question to you, my next question to you is, what future do you belong to? That's going to be a tweet for me.
Tweetable.
Yeah, what future do you belong to?
What future do I
We
belong
have to think about that.
I belong to the boundless future.
Yeah.
I belong to a future that I think Krishnamurti has sort of, he's sprinkled some dust out there for us to find our way, which, you know, the truth is a pathless land. I want to say it's undefinable, but I'm so hooked on definitions.
I think because where we are now, we have to give it form, so that it can birth through us now, because it's not going to be separate. By us saying, okay, this is a future that I belong to, we give it a place for the seed to fall. And that's why I'm asking you and you that, because we are the women that are going to have to start visioning that. What future do I belong to, and what freedom do I live that with? And we have to embody it now, because what we're seeing is not necessarily creating that future.
Certain things are.
Certain things are,
A lot of them aren't.
So what's your answer? What future do you belong to, Kate?
I'm going to just get specific to me and what I see possible for other women, because I think I'm kind of practical for as out there as I am. So the future that I belong to is one where on this planet the mothers are in a place that they are able to be fully present with their children, unbound by financial and time woes, to be fully creative human beings and shine that light and put that fertilizer into their kids to make fully present little ones to grow up for the next generation. So I'm really all about teaching the possibility of financial drama prevention.
That's wonderful.
Basically,
And
so
also
that we can
maybe
have some present parents.
And fathers
Yeah,
is an
that's
essential
right.
ingredient. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, hi, Dr. Summers.
Yes, hello.
Go for a little wander around there.
What future
do
do you belong to?
What future do I belong to? A radiant one. A radiant one in that, you know, I think it's about embodying a certain level of awareness that includes everyone, like we're saying, you know, allowing mothers, but allowing all the one. It's like Jim Morrison said, everybody's in.
Is everybody in?
Yeah, that was his question, and my response in my future is everybody's in, and I have all the time in the world for people to do it, and not in the sense of like we're all working in the same community, same goals and everything, but that we can have that sense of radiance inside of us, that we feel it, that we have that potential. And in my future that I belong to, I'm a nova, I'm a supernova, and I'm on. Yeah.
On that note, I think this episode of Glimpse TV has officially come to a high note.
Yeah.
Thank you both for coming on my show.
Lovely.
Thank you. Going in for the kiss.